I'm going to do the Cancer energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave the parts that do not resonate, as those may be meant for someone else. I also wanted to let you know that I do not have a microphone, so I am just using my iPhone, so you may need to turn up your volume just a little bit. I apologize for that. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get a microphone and it'll sound better. So I just wanted to let you know that first. I will try and speak louder. All right, so let's see what's going on with Cancer sign. What are they struggling with? We have Temperance, we have Empress, and we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius, and then we have Empress. All right, and then we have the Eight of Wands. All right. It could be that you're losing your patience with something, because Temperance represents being patient. It also represents compromise. I feel like, because with it being the Empress there, I almost feel like it's a lesson in learning patience. And that's not always the easiest thing, especially if it's something that we want to have work out, that we want to have, if we're striving towards something and it's like you're just getting frustrated. You're like, I don't have any patience for this. It could be a relationship. I feel like you're frustrated because you're waiting for something to come in and it's not happening, and it's almost like you're losing your, it's losing your patience, you know. I feel like it's just a lesson that's for you. Sometimes we never know why these things happen, so I feel like you're waiting for something good to come in and you're losing patience, or you're trying to work something out with someone, right? That you're trying to have that compromise. You're trying to be understanding, but it's just not happening. I feel like it could have to do, because the Empress represents birth, marriage, relationships, evolving, changing. So it could have to do with a very important relationship that you have, that maybe you feel like you're losing your patience with it. Maybe you're struggling with where you want to go with the relationship. Do you want it to evolve? Do you want it to go to the next level? Maybe you're questioning that and you're like, you know, I'm not really sure if I want to stay in this relationship. It could be any type of relationship. It could be friend, family member, partnership. It also could be a work relationship. It also could have to do with your job. And maybe you're just wondering, you know, I don't know if I have patience for this anymore, that I keep putting all this effort into this and nothing's coming back. Like, nothing is coming in. I thought that things were going to be better by now, but they're not. So that can definitely be very frustrating. All right, so what does Cancer sign need to look at? Take it like that one. All right. And then this one. Okay, so we have Judgment, that there's a message that's trying to get through to you. That's what I was saying, is that I feel like there might be a lesson as far as patience, right? That there's a message that is trying to get through to you that you're not hearing. Sometimes things happen, but we think that we're supposed to be doing this one thing, but really the universe wants us to be doing something else, or seeing something else, or things aren't happening because the universe is trying to tell us this different message, or they're trying to show us something different. We have the King of Cups. So I feel like that definitely represents you, and it's that calmness. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, which represents work, right? So what you need to focus on is working on your patience, working on trying to see what is the message that's trying to come in for you, that, you know, if it has to do with a relationship, work, family member, whatever that may represent, that I feel that everything happens for a reason, and that maybe you don't see the reason now, that if that's something that you're questioning, maybe you don't see the reason, but I feel like maybe in the future you might find that answer. Sometimes it's like we're thinking, oh, you know, I really want to do this, or I really wanted that job, or I really wanted that relationship to work out. But then when it doesn't work out and we've moved on and we look back and we say, you know what, I'm really glad that didn't happen. I'm really glad that that didn't work out for me, because it wouldn't have been for the best. It wouldn't have been in my favor. And I just feel like that's something that you have to be aware of, especially with that judgment card being there on what do you need to focus on, and that there may be another message that's trying to get through to you that you don't realize what it is. You haven't seen it yet. You haven't figured it out. And I almost feel like it's, with the King of Cups, it's like being calm. Sometimes if we step back and we just look and see how things are being played out and see what things are happening and see what's going on, I almost feel like if you step back, things will just fall into place, and then you'll be able to make your decision on where you want to go next, or what it is that you want to do next. So I just feel like giving it some time and just kind of having that step back and just not worrying about it. Maybe trying to find something else to focus on, whatever the situation is. Obviously, if it's a relationship, then that's something that you can't just ignore. But maybe it's trying to look at that relationship from a different perspective and look at it differently, and just not put so much maybe pressure or stress onto the relationship, and just see how things play out. All right, so what energy wants to come in for Cancer sign? I love it. 6 of Wands, success and victory, right? Figuring it out, feeling happy, feeling good. We also have the Page of Swords. Pages is young, new energy, so I feel like, and swords represent your analytical side, so it's kind of like being more analytical, but looking at things in a different, new way, seeing things differently. And then we have the 6 of Cups. So I feel like it's having fun, like the pressure's off, and you're feeling better, and just having fun and feeling light again. I feel like there's a lot of frustration, like the first 3 cards. I feel that there's a lot of frustration, a lot of irritation, and that's kind of what I was feeling. And then here I feel there's a lot of lightness and newness, and it could be that, you know, you finally figure out, okay, now I see why that didn't happen. Now I see why that was taking its time. Now I see why things didn't work out, and I feel like it makes sense. And then we have the Knight of Swords. So again, I feel like it's that analytical side. We have the eagle there, which represents success. And I feel like now you're ready to move forward. I almost feel like this frustration, sometimes when we have that frustration, it almost hinders our progress. But then you realize, okay, if I'm just going to let things play out, I'm just going to let things go, and I'm just going to see what's going on before I make a decision. And it takes a lot of pressure and stress off ourselves, so that way, you know, it's not hindering our progress, and we're just like, okay, it's going to be what it's going to be. All right, let's grab a numerology card for your reading. Okay, we had 2 that want to come out here. We have number 44, which represents environment. What is your environment like? Is there a lot of stress? Is there a lot of chaos? Is there a lot of anxiety? Is there a lot of frustration? Are there a lot of triggers around you? Are there a lot of things that bother you? I feel like it's being more aware of your environment. Is it calming? Is it soothing? Are there triggers in your living space that maybe you need to move those things around? I've also found many times that if I just move furniture around, like I recently moved every piece of furniture around in my bedroom, and it gives it a whole new vibe and a whole new feeling. I was never a furniture mover. Like, I always just kind of put things in one place, and I always would like leave them there forever. And because my bedroom was the way it was for like 7 years, and my oldest son, he's always a furniture mover. Like, he's constantly moving things around, and I'm like, I just don't get that. But now that I moved my furniture around, I'm like, wow, now I get it. Now I get why he does it, because it gives the room a whole new feeling, and it changes up the energy, right? And it switches things around. So I feel like your environment, it could be your work environment, it could be your social group environment, whatever that is, I feel like that card came out for you to maybe think about that and to kind of see if is there an environment that is, you could see if it's working positively for you or negatively for you, right? What are those environments? And then we have spirituality, we have 77. So we got 77 and we got 44. So those are some pretty cool numbers there for you. And spirituality, having that faith and that belief, whatever it is that you believe in, and maybe getting back in check with that, right? If that's what you believe in. And if that helps you on your journey or your path or your understanding, and maybe your environment and your spirituality is why these things aren't coming in, and maybe it was because the message is for you to focus on those things, for you to make that cozy environment for you in your home or your workspace or your social group, that it's more pleasing for you and that it's more of a positive experience. Like I said, sometimes we have these detours, we really don't know why, and it's for us to see some other things, so maybe that's what that was about. Let's grab a fortune reading card. We have celebrations. You are ready to bring new and exciting things into your life, without a doubt. Love that, right? Time to pop some bottles, time to celebrate. And again, it could just be, okay, I'm not going to stress about this situation. I'm just going to let it play out, and I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to focus on the things that make me happy, that make me positive, that make me feel good. And then it's like your energy level vibration has changed, and so things start happening for you. Let's grab a Star Dragons for your reading. All right. We have effort, conquering your demons. All right. I feel like that's in the first part of the cards that we were looking at, that there was this frustration, that there was this irritation, that you were losing your patience. So why is that? Maybe things aren't happening because you need to take a step back and say, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling irritated? Why am I feeling frustrated? Why am I feeling this way? And what is it that I need to look at? What is it that I need to deal with? What is it? Am I angry? Am I frustrated? And why am I feeling this way? And what are those triggers? And what are those things that I need to do to change those? All right, let's grab a animal oracle for this reading. Let's see. No, that's too many. All right, let's see. This one kind of wanted to come out. We have Flamingo Spirit. Embrace the in-between. I love it. Because I feel like that's where you are. I feel like you're in this in-between. Like you're working hard for something, and you're trying to get through something, and it's not happening, and you're feeling stuck, and you haven't achieved to where you want to go, and you're like in this in-between stage. But like I said, I feel like there's something else, especially with the Judgment card, that there's a message that's trying to get through to you, right? That the horn is blowing, like it's trying to get through to you, and this is that in-between, and it's embracing that in-between and not getting frustrated with those things, because that's what will add to the initial conflict. And when you just let those things go, you're like, you know, it is what it is, and I'm just going to deal with it and accept it for what it is, and maybe there's other things that I need to focus on and that I need to deal with, and then things will work themselves out, and then I can move forward. Let's see, I think let's grab, you know what, let's grab an energy oracle card. I feel like one more card. Attachment, okay? I feel like that kind of goes with the effort and conquering your demons, because she has that chain, and she is attached to the post, and she has that mask that she is taking off. So I feel like, is there an attachment to something? That's what I said. I feel like there's something else that you need to look at. I feel like there's something else that you need to see, and that's why this Judgment card came out. Do you have an attachment to something that is not a positive attachment for you, and that you have to release yourself, right? A falsehood, because she has a mask that she's taking off, or she could be putting it on. So it could be either way. But I feel like you need to look at, is there an attachment to something that you need to focus on, that you need to release yourself from, that you need to see that there is an attachment to something, whatever that may be. It could be a person, it could be just an attachment to having to control things or to have things a certain way. It could just be, a thought process. So that could have to do with that message that is trying to get through to you. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.